Yay! Super Bowl Sunday! Go Hawks! Oh, wait.
Hey Ken, how many sweet teeth do you have?
7?
And me?
All of them. All your teeth are sweet.
We grew up associating sweet with good. We call people we like sweet. Like Bolo here, a sweet puppy, mostly. Yet, sweets are what got us in trouble. We used to eat a lot of cookies, cakes, and other things we shouldn't have.
That's how we ended up with diabetes. We know we can't eat like we used to anymore, but we still like sweets.
And we still eat them. We just try to be careful. In this video, we share what we do to enjoy a treat without spiking our blood sugar. We also show you how we make our favorite sweet treats. Diabetes sucks.
But at Simply Diabetes, we can help you manage your diabetes cheaper and easier.
We are not medical professionals. We are people with diabetes, just like you.
Welcome.
You heard about people having a sweet tooth? Well, I have 32 sweet teeth. Every single one of my teeth wants dessert.
You probably could live on chocolate alone.
I could. I know we are supposed to eat to live and not live to eat. But food, and particularly desserts, are one of our little pleasures. And while we eat all kinds of foods for the nutritional value, sweets and desserts are different because their only reason is pleasure.
You can't survive without food, but people can live without desserts forever. However, I'll mark you down as doubtful.
Right? Without desserts, what kind of life would that be?
Still, we need to be smart.
So, one of the things we try to do is make sure that our sweet treats still provide some nutritional value. For example, a sugar cookie isn't a great choice because other than carbs and some less than great fats, it provides little. A better choice is dark chocolate because it contains antioxidants that our bodies need. Better yet, we can add some fruit.
Fruit by itself for dessert is not very satisfying, at least for me. You tried feeding me an apple as a dessert and it didn't fly.
I remember. It didn't satisfy until I made baked apples the way my mom taught me. I bake them with things like raisins, dry plums, or nuts, a little vanilla and cinnamon, some cloves, and butter. They become a lot more like dessert. And they don't raise blood sugar too much. Just don't go crazy on raisins, as these are sweet. Let's bake some apples. I have here 4 apples that I have previously already washed. I have some cloves. They smell really wonderful. I have butter and some pecans. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to do the first apple. We will just pierce the skin with the cloves, like so. And cloves smell wonderful, and they will make the apple smell wonderful too. So just pierce. And that's all we need to do with this first apple. Next, we are going to do this apple. We are going to cut the top and then core it. I'm using just a spoon for that. There are tools for it if you want. You want to remove the seeds, but you want to keep the apple as intact as you possibly can. So now that I have it cored, I'm going to add some pecans to it. I'm going to chop them as they are rather large. And then I'm going to put the pieces of pecan in here, add butter on top, a pat of butter, and that's my second apple. And this one is going to be also getting some cloves. We are going for a variety right now. You can add cinnamon, vanilla, you can add raisins instead of pecans, you can add walnuts instead of pecans, you can add a low sugar or no sugar fruit jam or marmalade or something. So this one we are just going to add the cloves to it, like so, like the first apple. The piercing of the skin also helps with the apple not falling apart, because if we microwave it and it doesn't have any piercings in the skin, it could explode in our microwave. So there we have 4 apples like this. Now put them in the microwave. And here are our baked apples.
Why is this dessert so good for us?
Several things. First, it is not a carb bomb the way many other desserts are. A typical medium apple has about 25 grams of carbs, of which 5 or so is fiber. So we get 20 grams of impact carbs. If you fill your apple with pecans, that's hardly any carbs at all. And they have fiber and healthy fats, plus a little bit of protein.
You sometimes add raisins. Raisins have more carbs.
Yes, about 20 grams in an ounce, but we are adding just a few.
Raisins are just dehydrated grapes. People also use frozen grapes as a sweet treat.
These are great, particularly when it's hot outside. And you can't eat them quickly, which helps. Good thing too, because grapes are pretty carby.
What about other dried fruit?
Yes, these are fantastic. We like banana chips that we dry using our dehydrator. Pineapples are great too, bananas, and we also dry berries.
Careful though, it's easy to eat too many carbs.
Yes, a banana is filling, but a dehydrated one is just a few chips. It's very easy to eat too many of these in one sitting. The sugars are concentrated in a tiny amount of fruit, and before you know it, you ate several bananas. Luckily, these chips are very sweet because the sugar from the entire banana got concentrated in a very small volume.
Ditto for any other dried fruit.
Yes, exactly. If you love these like I do, portion control is your best option. We measure out what we want to eat and put the rest away. The key is not to go back for seconds. And if you ate a sweet treat and you still want more, we need to manage our cravings better. We have a video about it, and I added the link below.
Okay, if I know you, you have something chocolatey up your sleeve.
I do. I always say life without chocolate isn't worth living. Luckily for us, chocolate is a fairly gentle treat, not like rich cakes and cookies. If you pair it with something that provides fiber, you have a winning dessert. So my choice is chocolate-covered anything.
Bacon?
No, not bacon. Although it does exist, and there are people that actually like it. If that's you, go for it. It's definitely not for me. I use nuts, berries, and other fruit. Just don't use pretzels on some other very carby stuff.
Chocolate-covered stuff is expensive. I wanted to buy some chocolate-covered strawberries for Valentine's Day, and one strawberry was over $2.
I have seen this too. And for the life of me, I can't understand why they charge so much. It's so easy to make.
It's not that you're not worth it.
Spread out the blueberries out completely so that they dry. Just leave them for a little bit until they dry out and there's no water on them. If there is water still attached to a berry, the chocolate will not stick in that spot. We need to prepare the place for the chocolate-covered treats to solidify. I'm putting a sheet of parchment paper on the baking sheet. I prepared the things that I'm going to cover with chocolate. In addition to blueberries, you can also do strawberry. I'm doing just one strawberry because Ken doesn't like strawberries for some strange reason. Prunes, walnuts, or other nuts and other pieces of fruit. Is the dark chocolate bar that I use. This is the Belgian chocolate from Trader Joe's. If you want to go even lower carb, a little bit less carby than the other one. You can go completely sugar-free. That's a little bit too harsh for me. So I am going to use this chocolate. I'm going to put a few squares. I'm going to put about this much. And the next step is to put this chocolate in the microwave. I'm going to go by 30 seconds. Chocolate burns easily, so we need to be careful. So now stir it a little bit. You can start dipping things in it. We will start with the strawberry. So here's our, make sure that it has a lot of chocolate. Now our parchment paper. We have the prunes, which we can dip, cover there. You can put it aside on the parchment paper. Okay, we are going to add a few walnuts. Chocolate-covered walnut clusters are wonderful. I'm not going to do a lot of them because I still have blueberries. Like so. And one more piece. And now I'm going to do the rest of blueberries in here. And so stir so that they are all covered. Like so. We can do our blueberry cluster. I will find spaces. And now we need to put this in the fridge. So this goes in the fridge.
These look like you slaved in the kitchen for hours, but they're so easy.
Anyone can make them. And they are just as satisfying as a cake would be.
So, we've been talking about various sweets, but sometimes only the real thing will do. For example, we really love the good chocolates from our local chocolatier, FLM.
We do love them. They are fantastic. Luckily, they are so good that you can eat one and be happy with it. We don't need to eat the whole box. Good thing too, because they are so expensive. So portion control is where it's at.
Just like when we're tempted with cakes and other goodies.
Right. We try to avoid them. But when we get tempted, we share one portion. This way, we each are only half naughty.
We should also talk about artificial sweeteners.
That's an individual choice. We rarely eat them. We tried various chocolates and cookies with artificial sweeteners, and I ended up with a rather unpleasant stomach adventure. They also have an aftertaste that I don't like. There are exceptions though. You can make sugar-free pudding from a box you buy at the store. These are the easiest thing in the world to make and taste good. You can stock up on them when they go on sale. My favorite is, of course, chocolate.
And mine is caramel or butterscotch. We haven't had one for a long time though. I drink diet sodas sometimes, and the sweetener in them doesn't bother me. But that's the only time I use artificial sweeteners these days.
If you are fine with these sweeteners, go for it. But we prefer smaller amounts of the real thing. If you want more examples of good sweet treats, the internet is full of low-carb or keto recipes you can try. We just shared some of our favorites.
What What about you? What sweet treats do you like, and how do you manage your blood sugar when you eat them?
If you have a favorite low-carb dessert, share it in the comments.
If this video gave you ideas, click the like button and subscribe to our Simply Diabetes channel. And don't forget to tell your friends. We want to help as many people with diabetes as we can.
See you next time. Until then, keep your blood sugar in a healthy range.